Today we have with us a delegation from Mossawa Center. It is the Advocacy Center for Arab citizens in Israel. Mossawa has been promoting since 1997 equal rights for the 1.4 million Palestinians of Israel. Without a doubt, not an easy task to do. And now, with the new government in Israel, that task has been even more complicated. We have three members of Mossawa today with us here. Mr. Jafar Farrah is a founding member of Mossawa and has served as its director since 1997. A longtime advocate and activist for equal rights for the Arab community in Israel, Mr. Farrah studied sociology and education at Haifa University. He has had a career as a journalist and researcher for several years, working with several Arabic newspapers and TV programs. He continues to write articles which are published on a regular basis in both the Hebrew and Arabic press. Dr. Mary Totry recently joined Mossawa's board. She received her PhD in political science from Haifa University and is currently on faculty, and I'm not going to say this correctly, Oranim College, where she serves as chair of the Civil Studies Department. She is also an adjunct lecturer for the Women's Studies program in the Department of Multidisciplinary Studies at the University of Haifa. Active in community and women's issues, Dr. Totry participated in the 6th Euro-Mediterranean Summit of Economic and Social Council in 2000. Dr. Khaled Furani joined Mossawa's board upon his return from the United States 4 years ago, where he received his PhD in anthropology from the City University of New York. Dr. Furani is on faculty in the Department of Sociology and Anthropology at Tel Aviv University. His research interests include modern Palestinian history, language, and secularism. Thank you for joining.
Thank you and good afternoon. I'm Jafar, and I'm the one to start to explain a little bit about the Mossawa Center and also the efforts that have been done by us as one player of building the Palestinian civil society inside Israel. I think most of you know our history as Palestinians. We are the ones that have been stayed in our homeland. We have been in 48, about 150,000 people. We lost our families, we lost our connections to the region. We kept our language, we kept our identity, and we kept building ourselves, rebuilding ourselves from the disaster that we faced in 48 to rebuild the community that will be able to contribute to the humanity in general. We are today about 1.4 million Palestinians. We are Palestinians, we are Arabs, and we are citizens of the State of Israel. We think it's not identity crisis. We think it's added value. We have uniqueness, and we have added value, that we have linguistic accessibilities and physical and mental accessibilities to our people in Palestine and to the refugees and also to the Jews. We can understand better than anybody the needs of the Palestinian people all over the world and the needs also of the Jewish population that we are living together. It's not an easy mission to keep your identity and language and parallel to build future. Since the establishment of the State of Israel in 48 until 65, actually, we have been living under military regime. To move from Haifa to Nazareth, or from Nazareth to Akka, we needed permission from the military regime that was implemented on our community. But even after the tragedy of 48, the Palestinian community kept activists and kept our political activism. And Mary can tell much more about people that came back and stayed, and we are proud that they stayed and kept building our Palestinian community in our homeland. The Palestinian community faced in 56, for example, another initiative to try to transfer us from our homeland. During the in 49, the triangle area was annexed to Israel as part of the Rhodes agreements that have been signed between the Jordanians and the Israelis as part of the ceasefire. And it's very important issue to be raised now, because today somebody in this part of the world is dreaming about transferring the Palestinian community in Umm and the triangle. He have a dream to have less Arabs in this part of the area. We keep reminding him that actually the request to get this part of Palestine was an Israeli request. And the triangle was annexed to the state of Israel as part of the Rhodes Agreement that had been signed in 49. In 56, actually part of this agreement, the Israeli government committed itself to protect and to allow the Palestinians, 15,000 inhabitants at that time, to stay in the triangle and to protect them. In 56, during the Sinai War, there was another initiative to try to transfer us by committing Kufr Qasim massacre, and we lost 49 people in Kufr Qasim massacre. So the whole initiatives, we are the ones to remember what happened to us in 48 and 56. And we started to recover, actually, and the title of our meeting today is Building Civil Society in the Palestinian Community in Israel. In the 70s, actually, we start to recover. After also in 65, initiative to create an art movement as a political movement and as a civil society movement have been rejected and it declared as illegal organization. And the people that have been active in 65 and 66 in the art movement have been arrested and jailed. So it wasn't easy to rebuild institutions of the Palestinian community in Israel. And we start to gain some kind of trust immediately after the Land Day. The Land Day in 76, it was the first time actually that we confront all over the Palestinian community with the land confiscation that have been taking place against our community since 48. You know, today it's unique democracy. Israel is a very unique democracy. Israel controls today about 93% of the lands, which means that all lands that have been confiscated from the Palestinian community, not only the refugees, but also the citizens of the state of Israel, is state land today. And it's very relevant to the debate that we have today with the JNF, with the Keren Kayemet, the Jewish National Fund, about access to these lands. Our access to these lands and equal allocation of lands of the Palestinian, to the Palestinian community in Israel, which is another. But our struggle in 76 to prevent land confiscation, 21,000 dunams, we lost 6 people in the demonstrations that have been killed, but we succeeded to keep these lands. And you have to come and visit this area. It's called area number 9. It's green. And environmentalists can also come and visit and admire this struggle, that people kept their land and they keep planting these land, and it's green and people can eat fruits, and we are proud that this land stayed. So it was a successful struggle to keep the people land, and it was 21,000 dollars. It's not a small amount of land. Later on in the 80s, you know, I was the head of the Arab Students Union, and I remember the Jerusalem Fund giving scholarships to students to go for higher education. It's important. You know, we were coming from poverty families. I came from Wadi Nisnas. My father was an employed person, and my mother used to clean houses. And all of us is the same story. And to fight to go for higher education, it wasn't easy. And today, the Jerusalem Fund is not funding anymore almost students to go for higher education and vocational training in our community. But people like us, we were lucky to get this support